The eyes is the light of the body, so mind the kind of movies you watch. So, guys, few weeks back, a friend of mine at work actually gave me a movie he felt was interesting, and he requested I see the movie when I get home, right? Okay. So, a few days back, I stumbled on this movie on my phone and I was like, oh, it's true. Let me even see the movie self that this guy said is interesting. So I started watching the movie with my younger sister. We were seeing the movie. It actually started very interesting. The movie was really, really interesting, I must say. Kudos to the directors, to the producers, to the cast and crew. You guys did a wonderful job. But guys, guess what? As I got to the middle of this movie, I was shocked. I was shocked because everything the Bible tells us about the life of Jesus was what a particular man called Clarence was doing. The Bible tells us that Jesus walked on water. Well, in this movie, Clarence walked on water. The Bible tells us that it was Jesus who was crucified and his side was pierced, right? But in this movie, Clarence was crucified and his side was pierced. The Bible tells us that when Jesus was on the cross, he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. In this movie, Clarence was the one who made that statement. The Bible tells us that Jesus resurrected, but in this movie, it was Clarence who resurrected. Why am I sharing this today? Because I came to understand when I was done watching that movie that it's not all movies that should be created. I'm speaking to the producers and to the directors that we have in our midst. It's not all movies that should be put out there for the public to watch, especially movies relating to our Christian faith, relating to religion. You have to be careful with the kind of movies you create. You have to be careful with the kind of movies you watch. Now, imagine someone, a toddler or someone who hasn't really grown in the knowledge of Christ, stumbling upon this movie. How do you convince this child that it wasn't Clarence who died? How do you convince this child that it was Jesus who did all these things that this certain man called Clarence is doing? How do you juxtapose what the Bible tells us with what this movie is telling us? And trust me, as a child, it would be very, very easy for you to go with what you can see physically. I mean, you're seeing it physically, than what the Bible is actually saying. I'm not trying to criticize this movie. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that the people who acted this movie were foolish or something. No, they did a good job, right? But please, mind the kind of movies you watch, especially when it relates to movies regarding our Christian faith. Not all movies are worth watching, because trust me, the devil is looking for ways he can use in penetrating your mind. He's looking for any medium at all he can use in influencing your thoughts. Remember that the eyes is the light of the body. Whatever your eyes feast upon is what your mind picks. Whatever you see with your eyes is subconsciously stores in your mind. So you have to be very, very careful with the kind of movies you watch. Not just movies, but music, the kind of songs you listen to, the kind of pictures you see. But if you're interested in watching this movie, the name of the movie is The Book of Clarence. Like I said, it's a very interesting movie. Ciao.